Welcome back. In today's episode, we answer your questions. Today's question surrounds when is the right time to start a business?
Welcome to this edition of Peak Performers Podcast with your host, Thor Conklin. Thor will be sharing the necessary tools, strategies, and psychology you'll need to become a peak performer in any area of your life or business.
Thor Conklin here. We give you the tricks, the tips, the tools, the strategy, the technology, and the psychology peak performers use in order to get more done and execute at the highest level. If you know what to do but struggle with getting it all done, or simply want to raise your game to the next level, this podcast is for you. Sit back and enjoy.
Today's question comes in from Tomas in Reykjavik. And Tomas wants to know, I'm considering starting a new business venture, and I want to know the things to consider to help me determine when is the right time to start.
Well, first of all, Tomas, thank you for listening, and thanks for our listeners in Iceland. As of today, when we're doing this recording, we have 59 countries tuning in. So thank you for all the support. So when is the right time to start your business? Well, maybe never. And what I mean by that is it's not always a good idea to start a business. You've got a couple things that you need to ask yourself. Number one, why are you considering starting this business? I think there's a trend going on nowadays that it's kind of cool to be an entrepreneur. It's cool to be a business owner, and everybody wants to run away from the 9 to 5, and everything's easier and brighter on the other side. So let me just start my business. People go into business saying they want more time, more freedom, more money, and all those things can come. But in the beginning, those are not going to be the things there for you. It takes a lot of hard work to get to the point where you can have those. So number one is, why are you thinking about doing this? Really get honest with yourself. And if you've got some really great answers to those questions, then great. Then you've passed test number one. The second one is you need to ask yourself the question of, are you the manager? Do you like to manage people? You're real good organizational? You can come up with a business plan, and you really know how to run an organization and have done that in the past. Are you the salesman? You just love to sell, doesn't matter what it is, give it to you, and it's sold. Or are you the creator of the product, of a service? Are you the tech that can write code in his sleep? Or are you the idea guy? You just love coming up with ideas, but really don't know how to execute it, but you've come up with some brilliant ideas. Unless you're the salesman, let me say this again, unless you're the salesman, if you fall into any of those other categories, you will need other people in your organization to make it happen, to make it successful. I don't care what your great idea is. I don't care how much code you can write. I don't care how good you're managing people. If you can't sell the product, you don't have a business, period. So if you don't love selling, you've got to find someone to help you, period. Now, let's say pass test number two. You've got a team around you, or you're a great salesman. When is the right time to start? Now. Now, I want to be very specific here. You start the business. You start putting it together. You start doing everything that's necessary. But you keep your full-time job. You keep that thing that pays the bills. You do not want the added stress of trying to figure out how to create this business and produce immediate income. So keep your full-time job and work on this on weekends, nights, mornings, every waking moment that you can. When I first started my podcast, I assembled all the equipment. I assembled all the knowledge, or as much as I could at the time. And I still didn't feel like I was ready. I figured I needed more training. I needed more information. I needed more practice. And then I went to a website, or a podcast rather, of someone who I really respected. And I won't say who it is, because one day I don't want him to make fun of me or throw a rock at me. But he's a very, very successful podcaster. And I went to his first episode, and this guy's absolutely killing it. I mean, it's an seven figure. It's a 7-figure business for him right now, just in advertisers alone. I wanted to know what he sounded like when he first started. So I went to episode number 1. And as soon as I listened to that episode, I started my podcast the next day because I kind of chuckled. He just wasn't that good. And he's phenomenal now. Absolutely phenomenal. But it didn't matter. He started somewhere. And I realized when he started, he had no listeners, no episodes, not a lot of experience. We all have to start somewhere. And we all start in the same position, the same place. 0 listeners, 0 revenue, very little experience. So start now and just start doing it. Just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons and you've got those other things in check.
I like it. Thank you, Tomas. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Good luck with your business. And please send me some updates on it. And if there's anything that you need as you're going along, I've done everything in business except take a company public. I've bought businesses, sold businesses, merged businesses, had partners, didn't have partners. I burned a company to the ground. I don't think there's anything in business that I haven't done except, again, taking one public. Just give me a call. Send me an email at info@thorconklin.com. I'd be more than happy to talk to you. Or if anybody's listening, you've got similar questions or concerns, I'd be more than happy to get on the phone and do a 15-minute free phone call with you and just give you any advice that I've gone through, and hopefully it'll save you some of the heartache that I had learning it the hard way. Trial and error. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening today. I really do appreciate your time, and I hope you found today's show valuable. If you would like to receive these shows automatically to your phone or to your computer, simply go to iTunes and subscribe. After listening to several of the shows, if you're so inclined, please leave us a 5-star rating, as this helps us reach additional people and spread the message. If you're truly committed to taking your life to the next level and doing whatever it takes to become a peak performer, but something's holding you back, something is blocking your way, and you just can't seem to figure out what it is, send me an email to info@thorconklin.com. And I'd be more than happy to get on the phone with you. We'll schedule a 15-minute discovery call. No obligation, no cost. I absolutely love to hear from the listeners. And if there's something I can do to help, I'd be more than happy to do that. Also, if you found something of great interest in today's show and you want to share that with your friends and family, simply go to my Facebook page, Thor Conklin. Click on the episode, hit the share button, and share it on your page. You can follow me at Twitter at Thor Conklin. The website is thorconklin.com. We're constantly adding new free resources, discussing additional tricks, tips, tools, and strategies on how to be a peak performer. Remember, I try to keep these episodes short so you can listen to them during dot time, doing other things, commuting, driving, walking, working out. Decide to be a peak performer in all that you do. And until tomorrow, have an absolutely amazing day.